What if I told you there was a libertarian utopia on a Caribbean island which can make its own rules? Where billionaires can go to avoid taxes and governments, and biohackers try to cheat death with experimental medical treatments. It might sound like something out of an obscure corner of the internet, but it's real, and it's right here in Honduras. It's called Prospera, a city governed not by a country, but by a private American company.
Prospera is building the future of human governance, privately run and for profit.
It's been described as a state within a state and a crypto-libertarian paradise.
What we're doing here will transcend this moment in time, and I think can lift people up from around the world by the billions.
Prospera offers the regulatory freedom to explore new ideas. This is just one of the many ideas that's possible.
Created with the backing of Silicon Valley billionaires.
It's a techno-utopia project.
And that's got some people suspicious.
The main goal of these things is really to escape taxes.
Can basically create their own law.
Medical experiments that may not be legal in the US.
Kings who are basically tech CEOs.
The political fight over Prospera's very existence has helped see Honduran governments rise and fall. And there are links all the way to the White House.
Donald Trump quiere consolidar a los libertarios y a la sede Prospera en Honduras. Es mi opinión.
I think it's absolutely warranted to do whatever is necessary to help create the conditions that can lift people up. And that's what we are, and that's why we've received the support that we have received.
And is some of that support from Donald Trump, do you think?
I'll leave that to you to decide.
This story and this place are stranger than fiction. You really have to see it to believe it. So I've come to Prospera to find out what happens when a city is run like a business, why some people want it shut down, and what all this has to do with Donald Trump. The island of Roatan is a Caribbean tourist playground. Along with the sun and the sand, there's the world's second largest barrier reef. It's so enticing, more than 1 million visitors come here each year. This is probably not what comes to mind when you think of Honduras. It's a lot safer, a lot more stable than the mainland. Honduras is one of Latin America's poorest nations, where over half the population lives in poverty. It's in the heart of Central America. And the island of Roatan lies about 60 kilometres off the coast. Prospera's main settlement is on the north side. No signs yet. We're 1 minute away. Whoa, that is so surreal. Here we are, Prospera. So before I arrived, I had to sign this contract, which is just pages and pages of rules. And that's because we're basically entering a parallel universe. Apart from the Honduran criminal code, the laws of the country don't apply here, and instead, Prospera can create its own laws. After years of controversy, there's a deep suspicion of the mainstream media here. So there's a little checkpoint here. It's taken us months to get access.
Where are you going?
To Duna.
You're bypass. Perfect.
Thank you. Gracias. Duna Tower is the centrepiece of Prospera. Hello, hello.
Hey,
nice
Lauren,
to meet
how are you?
Yeah, lovely to meet you, Rich.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
Come on in.
us.
Welcome to Honduras.
Appreciate it. Rich Lee was one of the first residents to move in. How many people live here now?
So I'd say full-time, we're probably around 45-ish.
Okay. He's originally from California and came here about 2 years ago.
Whoa. This is kind of like a community deck area. Some people do yoga up here. We've had like bachata classes. Yeah, we've had raves up here.
No way,
yeah, really fun. So this is the Beta District. So we've got over here, we've got a set of office buildings. We've got like a podcast studio with a restaurant. Beyond this hill, you can kind of see the dock over here. That's kind of the larger part of Prospera.
Okay.
And that's where like a lot of like basically where the resorts are, like high-end condos and things like that are. That's kind of where the rich kids live. I'm over here where all the cool stuff is happening. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's a good distinction.
Yeah, a lot of people here, there are, young and hungry and doing some amazing things. So there's a lot of startup people here. This is one great thing about moving here is no matter how upset or stressed out I get, I just come out here and I'm like, well, I live here. I mean, can't complain too much.
Absolutely, look at that view.
We've got like a vending machine that kind of takes digital currency called Lives, or it also takes Bitcoin if you need some beers or some snacks.
And this also takes US dollars?
Nope.
No. Only cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, only crypto.
Wow. Damn.
Over here. Okay, so here we kind of have a community space / maker space / kitchen / bio tinkering area. I'll show you around.
The makerspace is where residents come to work and play.
Here we've got a local sport, taser knife fighting. So we fight with these things, but they...
Oh my God.
Try it out. Here, go ahead. You just pull the trigger there at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Sometimes we drink too much and crazy stuff gets born. To me, this is like the funnest room in the tower. So
Feels a bit like frat house kind of vibe.
A little, but it's more like, I don't know, it's really like block party vibes,
Prospera sells itself as a place where you can test radical ideas on the cheap and without all the red tape. Rich came to turn his biohacking hobby into a startup business.
The first one I got is a magnetic fingertip implant. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is great at pubs, honestly. This has got me so much free beer. Yeah.
Good party trick.
I've got NFC chip implants. I've got one here and one here. I've got 7 in total. Here's the big one. This is my tap to pay credit card.
What happens if it expires?
Yeah, so actually this one did expire, and I knew that going into it, that it would expire. When I upgrade, I'll just slip this one out and slip the new one in. There's a few people around here that we've given implants to, and so there's a few cyborgs running around.
Is there a concern that people might be getting around some of the protections that actually keep people safe?
The idea that the regulation in the US is making things safer, I think is kind of a fallacy. Currently, it takes about $1 billion to bring a pharmaceutical or like a gene therapy to market in about 10 years. And so we're at this weird place where we've painted ourselves into the corner with regulation in a lot of cases.
I mean, is this the kind of place where this is normal?
No, I think here it's still a little weird too. So.
Another of Prospera's biohacking visitors is the longevity guru, Brian Johnson.
My name is Brian Johnson. I've been spending millions of dollars creating an anti-aging protocol.
He helped put Prospera on the map with his 2025 Netflix documentary, Don't Die.
I'm traveling to a remote island for an extreme medical procedure that could change the future of humanity.
He came here to receive an unregulated gene therapy.
This treatment is not FDA approved in the US. Thanks, Doc.
Alice Chen is also here doing things she couldn't do back home. Cool, so it's a little lab in a tent.
Yes.
She was studying a PhD in Canada when she first heard about Prospera. She dropped out and came here to develop this. A live algae drink, she says, could add 20 years to your life.
You can't find this anywhere else in the world. And it's only possible here in Prospera because of their meta-regulatory framework.
Companies in Prospera get to choose their regulations from a list of more than 30 countries.
And we couldn't find any, so we created our own.
You just made up your own regulations?
Yes, and we need that freedom to test out a novel category of food. The fact is, nowhere else in the world would regulators allow us to experiment. Is this safe for human consumption? And
So you wouldn't be able to do this in Canada? You would have been kicked out of the lab?
Yes, I would have been kicked out of any university for even just consuming it myself.
Obviously, regulations are there for a reason. People might worry that if you skip that process, the product's not as safe.
Oh, yes, and I understand that concern. And that's why we come here to Prospera to validate the product on a small scale. So we tested it on a very small human sample.
Yeah, I mean, human testing, you wouldn't be able to do this elsewhere, would you?
Really depends on the jurisdiction, and Prospera offers the freedom to do that.
And you've tried it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cheers.
Cheers. What does it taste like?
Fresh. Healthy. Healthy.
Yeah, wow.
Welcome to Prospera, a place where
Prospera has been controversial from the start.
we are building the most innovative startup city in the world.
It was ushered in by the right-wing President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who left office mired in corruption and was later jailed in the US for drug trafficking.
The ex-president of Honduras is accused of turning his country into a narco state.
Hernandez declared that he wanted, and I quote, to stuff the drugs right up the noses of the gringos.
The left-wing president who came next tried to shut it down, saying it was a threat to national sovereignty. Prospera began legal action.
They filed an $11 billion arbitration claim against Honduras, equal to about a third of the country's GDP.
But with the return of the right-wing party to government last year,
Conservative Nasri Asfoura the winner by less than 1%.
It's forging ahead. Becoming a resident is a pretty easy process. It's basically like signing up for a Netflix account, and it costs about the same as well. You just fill out an online form, you pay an annual subscription fee of about $130 US plus insurance, and then you're in. Prospera says 1,700 people have completed the process, but only about 200 are actually living here. Once a month, prospective new residents and investors come to take a look.
So this is Roatan right there? Yeah.
Honduran architect Jake Ebanks has heard the rumours swirling around this place.
People talk very negative about it, or at least to my ears before, and I didn't understand why. They were literally saying nonsense, like Prospera is trying to, clone people and create bots, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Why did you come this weekend?
I thought it was a really nice, opportunity to just come and know what they're doing, try to get into the real estate, actually.
His cousin Owen heard about Prospera on YouTube.
I thought it was super interesting what they were doing here in terms of the biomedical advancements, the financial stuff, the Bitcoin, decentralizing, and yeah, that's why I'm here today. Just learning firsthand rather than just, believing what the bad press says about it.
Is this sort of try before you buy? Are you thinking you might move here one day?
I'm thinking about it. If something comes up here, I'll definitely leave that. 100%.
I want to meet the man behind the vision.
Lauren, how are you?
Pleasure to meet you, Eric.
Welcome.
Thanks
how are you
so much.
doing?
Oh, it's nice and cool in here.
Yeah.
Eric Brimmen is the founder and CEO of the American company that runs the Prospera Zone. So when did you buy this land?
2017. We broke ground May 2020. I mean, frankly, in some ways, it feels like we've just been going from one complication to the next in this project.
Yeah, is it hard to convince investors to put a stake in this project when it has, had so many ups and downs in its very short life?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It hasn't made our life easier. It's already hard enough to bring investment into a country like Honduras.
In Honduras, corruption and political instability have long been toxic to investment.
It's a very good representation of what we can build and how we can do it.
Many who've come today are thinking about starting a business here. Extremely low tax rates are one of the draw cards, with businesses paying as little as 1%. How many companies are set up in Prospera now?
We just passed the 500 company mark.
Wow.
Physically present, I think it's about 30 different companies. We think that if we do our jobs right, it will be thousands of companies.
Prospera's pitch is that businesses will create jobs for locals, like this one, a robotic woodworking factory.
We have the majority of the employees here from the immediate local communities. Prospera, as a company, works with governments to create an enhanced version of special economic zones.
Enhanced is an understatement. Prospera has the power to form its own legal system, courts and police force, even set its own building code. Duna Tower would have been illegal to build anywhere else on the island.
The zoning outside caps you at 12 stories. This one is 14 stories, and indeed, those extra stories were authorized through the internal approval process.
The idea is to firewall foreign investment from the unstable Honduran political climate.
Can't fix the problem all at once, but you can create pockets of stability and convert it into opportunities for the local population. It won't be long before the paradigm shifts and people realize that indeed this is a far superior strategy by which to lift people up.
So you see this as a kind of poverty alleviation tool?
Yes, it's a poverty alleviation tool and economic development accelerant as well. You're a developer? I'm an architect. An architect.
Prospera's vision is backed by some heavy hitters. It says it's raised around $200 million in funding, including from a venture capital firm linked to Silicon Valley billionaires. You hear about Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen. Just wondering, what's their involvement actually been?
I understand that they're investors through some of the venture capital funds that have invested into our project.
How much investment?
That's private information, but I wouldn't even know myself.
Some people have described this as corporate colonialism or neo-colonialism. Is that what this is?
Absolutely not. It's the opposite. It's a government choosing to liberate its people from the shackles of poor regulatory and legal environments by partnering voluntarily with partners that are capable to provide better conditions. So colonialism is exactly the opposite of what we're doing. Christine Bay is just on the other side of that hill.
In time, Eric believes this could grow to become the Hong Kong of the Caribbean. And so you think one day there could be 100,000 people in Prospera?
So if you think 20, 30 years in time, it's very feasible, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow, so it'll look very different if we come back here in 10 years or so.
I think in less than that, but yes, absolutely. So you might as well take the before picture now while you still can.
Barely 50 metres down the beach is Crawfish Rock, an old fishing village that gets its name from the spiny lobster that once flourished here. Its 600 residents are split over Prospera.
So right now we're in mango season, so there are lots of mango everywhere you go.
Good work. Oh my gosh, that's
that
beautiful.
is good.
That is good mango. Vanessa Cardenas is a community leader and one of the most vocal critics of the private city next door. And how long have your family been living in this area?
My family, we have 5 generations here. We always live here practically peacefully, and no one expected this kind of situation to ever occur. A country within a country, to put it in another word. I mean, for them to come and say that they want to build a country, my country, where they have their own laws, regulation, they're everything. They don't pay the taxes I pay, and I'm from here. It's preposterous. I mean, it makes no sense.
Has it divided the community?
Yes, in a way it has. There's lack of trust now because if you're working with them or whatever, you're getting a salary, so they're good to you. But then there's us, that we're seeing the danger. I can't trust you or talk with you about certain things. So it has caused some division.
Vanessa acknowledges Prospera has provided jobs for some people in Crawfish Rock, but she's worried about a return to the village's colonial past.
Honduras has ever been a country where foreigners have intervened, in this case, America. Our country has ever been explored and our riches taken for somewhere else. It have never stayed for the Honduran people.
In recent months, claims of foreign intervention have returned, and Prospera has found itself right in the middle. So I'm heading to the capital, Tegucigalpa, where this story gets even more intriguing. If you want to see Honduras's real problems up close, you come here.
Here, MS-13.
Extreme gang violence once earned Honduras a reputation as the murder capital of the world.
If you are someone suspicious today, they can take you, they can kidnap you, they can kill you.
Around 1 million Hondurans have fled to America, driven by poverty and lack of opportunity. Prospera is sold as a solution to these kinds of problems. But I'm on my way to meet someone who thinks that's all nonsense.
Hola. Hello. Muy buen día. Mucho gusto, Fernando.
Lauren.
Bienvenida, Lauren.
De Australia. Gracias.
Me alegra mucho que estén por acá.
Fernando Garcia is a former Minister for the Economy who was brought in by the leftist government to shut Prospera down.
El enemigo público número 1 de Prospera.
Your public enemy number 1.
Las empresas registradas en Prospera.
¿Cuántas empresas hay en Prospera?
Más de 560.
He says foreign companies are exploiting Honduras with little benefit to the country, because so many don't even have a physical base there.
Pero lo que hacen es convertir a Prospera en un paraíso fiscal para evasión de pago de impuestos en sus países de origen. Y no viven allí ni generan ninguna actividad allí. La generan en sus países de origen o en terceros países.
What do you think a project like Prospera means for Honduras sovereignty?
Totalmente afectada. Un Estado tiene 3 componentes: gobierno, población y territorio. Los 3 son afectados por Prospera. Tienen su propio gobierno, violentan los derechos humanos porque ellos no reconocen más que su normativa nacional. Los libertarios quieren que desaparezcan los estados del mundo en su forma actual.
When your government came to power, you decided to repeal the laws that made Prospera legal. What did they do in response?
Ellos demandaron originalmente al Estado de Honduras por $10.700 millones.
That's a huge amount of money for a country like Honduras. What do you think they were trying to do?
Chantajear al Estado de Honduras para que les dé 50 años.
Your party then lost government in last year's election before you could fully repeal those laws. What is the current status of Prospera? What does it mean for its future?
El Partido Libre no perdió las elecciones, se las robaron por la intervención del presidente Trump, porque necesitaba consolidar la posición de los libertarios en Honduras. Es mi opinión.
Donald Trump's presence was well and truly felt in last November's fiercely contested poll. You see, just days before the election last year, Donald Trump publicly backed the National Party and then pardoned its jailed former leader, Juan Orlando Hernandez. Trump's actions are widely seen as having tipped the scale for his preferred party to win, and some people say it might have had something to do with Prospera. I want to put that theory to the test with one of the world's foremost experts on Central America, Chris Sabatini from Chatham House. Chris, how are you doing?
Hello, Lauren. How are you doing?
Tell me, what is the connection between Donald Trump and Prospera?
It seems to have been Roger Stone, a Republican political operative, since the years of the Richard Nixon presidency. Very influential. He's very close to Donald Trump.
Stone had been urging President Trump to pardon Hernandez in order to crush socialism and save Prospera, arguing the Freedom City had ramifications that could revolutionise life in Honduras.
A group of tech bros, if you will, of Silicon Valley, who have long been libertarians. They had Roger Stone's ear, and you can see this from Roger Stone's own blog post when he makes this sweeping, grandiose statement about Prospera's potential. He clearly was fed those lines by others that have backed this idea of creating a libertarian free zone in another country. These tech bros from Silicon Valley, they're an emerging, very powerful bloc of political activists that are basically funded to the teeth and are willing to step out and start to push their own agenda.
So has Donald Trump's intervention in the election safeguarded the future of Prospera?
I think exactly. By endorsing Tito Asfura, he is basically guaranteed that Prospera will remain as long as Donald Trump is in the White House.
Do you think Donald Trump's intervention in the election helped safeguard the future of Prospera?
I think Donald Trump is trying to make the whole Western Hemisphere a more stable and prosperous part of the world. I think it's absolutely warranted to do whatever is necessary to help create the conditions that can lift people up. And that's what we are, and that's why we've received the support that we have received.
Is this just a glorified tax haven?
No, it is not. In prosperous zones, there are taxes and people must pay. And there are regulations and people must follow them.
Prospera is continuing to grow. It's adding to its territory and is now larger than Monaco. This resort is one of the acquisitions. Prospective investors Jake and Owen have wrapped up their tour, and now they're taking a moment to sample the lifestyle.
Man, we got the starfish here, the reef on the side, and the drop off on the side of it.
So you've had the sales pitch from Prospera, and what do you reckon?
I think anybody would be sold, because it's just what I would say every place needs.
I'd say the main attraction for me is overall just being around like-minded people, you know, people who have a vision for the future.
You think you could get rich here?
Yeah, I could see myself making, you know, some good money here.